Hey guys, welcome back to the recap. Alright, so Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble 2021. We start off the Royal Rumble with a match I didn't think would start off Royal Rumble, but we start off Royal Rumble with the WWE Championship title match. So we have Goldberg come out with his entrance. Side note, I never understood why Goldberg, with his... I mean, it is cool with the whole security guard thing and him coming out the room, but I never understood why he had security guards with him every time he came to the ring, because he's supposed to be this unbeatable, badass, guy. So I don't understand why do you have security guards escorting you to the ring. But it's still cool, though. I'm not saying I don't like his entrance. His entrance is cool and a very unique one. But I was just wondering that when I was watching the entrance. So we had Goldberg come out, and then we have him going against the WWE champion from Raw, Drew McIntyre. And then Drew McIntyre headbutted Goldberg out of nowhere, then went off the rope and hit Goldberg with a spear. So Drew McIntyre was going after Goldberg, and then Goldberg kind of reversed him on the outside of the rope. I mean, on the outside of the ring, and then he hit Drew McIntyre with a spear through the barricade. So Drew McIntyre was down for a while. The referee was asking him, does he even want to continue? Drew McIntyre was like, yes. So Drew McIntyre was in the ring. They rung the bell, and I thought Drew McIntyre was about to get speared and the match was going to be over. But then Drew McIntyre hit Goldberg as he ran in with a crazy claymore, pinpoint precision straight in the face with his big, probably 14, 15 size boot claymore straight in Goldberg's face. So then I thought Drew McIntyre was about to win, and Goldberg kicked out of the claymore. Then the match kind of continued. Goldberg hit Drew McIntyre with another spear and another spear. So I thought, Goldberg's about to win. Then Drew McIntyre kicked out of 2 spears. So that was surprising. I didn't expect that. Then we have Goldberg. He did the jackhammer, and usually people don't kick out of that. Drew McIntyre kicked out of it like a millisecond before the referee hit 3. So that was very surprising. I thought Goldberg just beat Drew McIntyre. Then Drew McIntyre hit Goldberg with another claymore. And then 1, 2, 3, Drew McIntyre retains his championship. So I'm they went back and forth with finishers, but I kind of don't like that every single time when Goldberg has a match. It seems like all he knows how to do is 2 moves, jackhammer and spear. I know he knows how to do other things. It's just you don't get to see his in-ring skills like that if he does know how to do other things. But that's how we started off Royal Rumble. Let's see how the rest of the show goes for tonight. Alright guys, so the next match, we had another championship match on Royal Rumble. We had the match for the Women's SmackDown Championship. So we had the challenger Carmella. She came out with her wine picker. I forgot what she calls him, but she came out with Reginald. She went off against Sasha Banks, the SmackDown Women's Champion. As a wrestling fan who watched a lot of matches and stuff like that, I feel like they could have did way better with that match. I feel like it was okay, kind of leaning into the sloppy side. They had back and forth. Sasha Banks hit some good moves with the Meteora, but then Carmella tried to take advantage while Sasha Banks wasn't looking. She tried to do a suicide dive, but she landed on her face. She kind of hit Sasha Banks, but landed she almost scorpioned herself. So yeah, that happened. That's why I said it's a little bit on the sloppy side. Even some of the moves, the typical moves that they usually do. When it came down to the end of the match, Sasha Banks put Carmella in the bank statement. Carmella immediately tapped out, so Sasha Banks retained her title. And hopefully the next match I enjoy, because honestly, we're off to not such a good start. It's 2 okay matches for me for Royal Rumble. Alright guys, so next up we have a Royal Rumble match. We have the Women's Royal Rumble match. So we start off with the Royal Rumble match with Bayley. Bayley was the first entrant in the Women's Royal Rumble match for this year, and second person who was returning, Naomi. Naomi's back. I'm always a fan of Naomi. She has crazy in-ring skills. She's a crazy athlete. But we had a surprise entry of Jillian Hall. We had Jillian Hall come out. If you remember Jillian Hall, You remember her voice was highly irritating, and that song was, her theme song, which she sung, was just, But, it was a good character for her, though, but her voice was highly annoying. We had another surprise entry. We had Victoria was a surprise entry. I remember Victoria. I remember her more so in TNA than WWE. Another surprise entry, we had Tori Wilson. I remember Tori Wilson. I don't remember her in-ring like matches and competition and skills like that, but I remember Tori Wilson. I know she's like a very big fitness person on social media. You know, she looks very good for her age. We had another surprise entry later on. We had Alicia Fox. I wasn't a great fan of Alicia Fox, even though Alicia Fox is a very gifted in-ring competitor. But I'm not crazy about her character, because her character is crazy and it's the typical too crazy. Like, I don't like the crazy that she is. You know, I like Dean Ambrose crazy, and I don't like, or AJ Lee kind of crazy. And we had after Alicia Fox came out, we had R-Truth come out. Well, who didn't see that coming? R-Truth came out. R-Truth was running from all those people that chases him day in and day out for the 24/7 title. And then, surprise, Alicia Fox pinned R-Truth. So Alicia Fox is the new 24/7 champion. R-Truth pinned her back, and then also she got eliminated from the Royal Rumble match too. Like, they threw her over the top rope. Well, the final three people were Charlotte, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair, and they all have a history with each other. And then we came down to the final two. Charlotte got eliminated by the two NXT. Well, Bianca Belair is not on NXT anymore, but you know, like the two girls from NXT recently. And then they faced off against each other, and then voila, we have Bianca Belair, first time ever winning a Royal Rumble. She is a phenomenal athlete. I say it time and time again. She is a phenomenal athlete, phenomenal wrestler. She seems like she works her butt off to get where she is. So congratulations to Bianca Belair on winning the Royal Rumble 2021. And hopefully she can pick up a title at WrestleMania. Alright guys, so next up, we had the Universal title match. So we had Kevin Owens go against Roman Reigns in a last man standing match for the Universal title. Right at the start of the match, they started hitting signature moves on each other. Like, Roman Reigns started doing like Superman punches and spears. Kevin Owens hit the stunner and pop-up power bombs, and then they started fighting each other out into the little crowd area where crowds would be. And then Kevin Owens got thrown off the little crowd area onto some tables, just like he did previously a couple of weeks ago. They just kept fighting, hitting each other with chairs, steel steps. They fought their way to the back, and then just out of nowhere, here comes Roman Reigns in a golf cart and runs over Kevin Owens. I was not expecting that. That was cool. Kevin Owens, he pop-up powerbombed Roman onto an announce table that was in the back. Then he climbed up on some like equipment boxes and he hit a frog splash right on Roman Reigns. That was pretty cool. And then he got in a forklift and he lifted the bed of the forklift all the, I don't know if you would call that the bed. I'm just saying the bed. Thing that holds stuff on the forklift. He raised that all the way up, and then he climbed up to the top. And then I guess Kevin Owens is the new Jeff Hardy, because he's swanton, beautiful swanton, right on the Roman Reigns from probably like, I don't know, 10 plus feet in the air or something. And then Roman Reigns hit a spear on Kevin Owens through the Titantron, not the top Titantron screen, but like the bottom one with the lights, and it says like the pay-per-view's name across like the screen at the bottom. Then we got Kevin Owens. Well, Roman Reigns introduced the handcuffs to the match, but Kevin Owens took full advantage of that, and he started pummeling Roman Reigns with the handcuffs, and then he handcuffed Roman Reigns to the floor. Like, there was this like, I don't know what you call it. It's like a support beam or something for the setup, and he handcuffed Roman Reigns to like the bottom part of it, and Roman Reigns couldn't get up. He handcuffed him to the bottom of the thing. Referee was up to a count of 9, and Roman Reigns was about to get counted out. I thought Kevin Owens was about to win the title, and then Roman Reigns, smart enough, pulls the referee to stop the count, and like pulls him into like some hanging light thing, and the referee gets knocked out. New referee comes out. Paul Heyman comes out. Roman Reigns got out. And then he hit the guillotine, his new submission move onto Kevin Owens, made Kevin Owens pass out. And the referee counted to 10, and Roman Reigns still Universal Champion. This was a good match. The only thing I didn't like about the match was the ending with the whole guillotine and the guy was knocked out. I thought more stuff was going to happen. So this was kind of like it wasn't a short match, but it was short to me for a last man standing match. Like, I thought other things were going to happen. Like, Jey Uso was going to come out and help, and maybe somebody was going to come help Kevin Owens. And I thought Kevin Owens wasn't going to, like, I thought more would happen, but it was a good match. I'm not saying it's not a good match. It's probably one of the better matches of tonight. All right, so we're down to the last match in the Royal Rumble pay-per-view this year, and it's the men's Royal Rumble match. It always finishes the pay-per-view. We start off the Royal Rumble match with Randy Orton and Edge. So when they started the match, they didn't like each other. They were beating the mess out of each other. They were fighting on the inside of the ring, the outside of the ring. I think it's called the execution when he does that like kind of lifting DDT. He did that on the announcer's table. And then he proceeded to take a steel chair and beat the mess out of Randy Orton's leg. So then referees had to come like break them up. Referees had to check on Randy Orton. Randy Orton was all bleeding and on his arm and leg busted up. And then Randy Orton couldn't continue in the Royal Rumble match because Edge beat the mess out of him. So they had to carry Randy Orton to the back. Carlito came out. If you know Carlito, you know, I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool with the Apple and everything. He returned. He looked like he's in great shape. He was backstabbing people all over the ring. Okay, we have another surprise entry. We have Damian Priest. Now, Damian Priest, you know, he's not somebody that's returning, but he's from NXT. He's not from the main roster. So Miz came out for his entry spot, and he was upset. So he went over to the audio system thing set up for Bad Bunny that was set up earlier in the night that his DJ was using. And Miz decided to destroy all that stuff, and then he got in the ring and participated in the Royal Rumble match. Then, later on, guess who comes out? Bad Bunny. Not as an entry, he just like came out. And so they both got eliminated because Bad Bunny. And then Bad Bunny went up to the top rope, and he did a diving crossbody onto. I'm like, it wasn't that pretty because he almost slipped. His foot almost slipped. Whatever shoes he was wearing was not equipped to be on the top rope. So Kane came back for the Royal Rumble. It's his record, like 18th appearance. Nobody else has been in more Royal Rumble matches than Kane. Kane was in there for a short amount of time. When he came in, he was chokeslamming people left and right. The person who surprised me the most that returned, I would say, is if you close your eyes, your life. Christian Cage returned. Christian Cage returned. To be honest, I didn't think Christian Cage would return ever, honestly. Like, not in a match. But Christian Cage returned. I'm a big Christian Cage fan. I'm a peep, if you would like to call me that. He saw Edge. They had a moment where they hugged and they started beating up other people. And it's nice not to see them turn on each other. So that was cool. Last return, which I guess is the second most surprising return to me, was Seth Rollins is back now. Seth Rollins took some time off. Him and Becky Lynch are married. They're having a baby. I believe the baby was born already. So he was taking time off to see his child and be with Becky Lynch. But I guess he's back now. So it was cool to see Seth Rollins. So we get down to the last four people in the match. The last four people in the match were Braun Strowman, Seth Rollins, Christian, and Edge. Edge started the match, and Edge is still in there 50 plus minutes later. Christian and Strowman went over to the top rope. So now we're down to our final two, which is Edge and Rollins. So final two people, Edge and Rollins. We had Seth Rollins immediately try to go for a curb stomp. Edge flips him over the top rope, and then now Rollins is eliminated. So my man, probably like my second favorite wrestler, if I think about it, my second favorite wrestler of all time, Edge, wins the Royal Rumble, right? No, he doesn't win the Royal Rumble. Apparently, because Randy Orton was never thrown over the top rope. He just had to get taken to the back because of the injury. Randy Orton comes back to the ring, just fine and dandy. Edge turns around, gets an RKO. I'm like, what's going on here? Randy Orton goes, throws Edge out the ring. Nope. Edge spins it around. Edge throws Randy Orton out the ring. Edge wins the Royal Rumble. So that was cool. I love that ending. The winner of the men's 2021 Royal Rumble match is the Rated R Superstar. Shout out to Tony Chimmel. Edge. So Edge is going to go to WrestleMania. I'm so happy. Like I said in the previous video, I said my top 2 picks is either AJ Styles or Edge. Edge won. I'm very happy Edge won. He deserves it. He was out for so long because of just the injury that put him out while he was the world champion. He had to relinquish it like immediately after he won it because his I'm not too sure if it's like discs in his back and neck or something, but yeah, he had to relinquish his title, which sucked. He was on top of his game, and then he was out for so long. I think like 11 years he was out, and he worked his butt off to return and get healthy and get right. He returns, and then and he didn't even go to the top, because this is one thing I would say, like how I talked about, I don't like how Goldberg just comes back and get a title match. You see how Edge came back. Edge was in the Royal Rumble. Edge didn't win the Royal Rumble last year, but he was in it and he returned. Then Edge had a feud. He had a feud with Randy Orton. He probably would have kept going and fighting other people after Randy Orton, but then he got injured again, unfortunately. But then now he comes back, he wins the Royal Rumble, and he might possibly win a title. But you see how when Edge came back, he didn't immediately get a title shot. He didn't win the Royal Rumble last year. He came back and he had a feud with somebody, and he wrestled often. Not like how saying Goldberg just comes back and immediately gets a title shot and wasn't even wrestling people. So that's the difference between Edge and Goldberg when it comes to them, like, returning. Kudos to you, Edge. Congratulations. You were like I would say one of my top favorite wrestlers of all time. I love your theme song. Love your personality. I love everything about Edge, and I hope Edge wins the title at WrestleMania. I really do. That would be the icing on the cake for WrestleMania this year. So don't forget to share this with anybody else if you know any wrestling fans who like to hear about wrestling throughout the week, and they don't have the time to watch it and they rather just hear a recap of it and see clips. Everybody, thanks for watching, and stay safe, stay healthy. As always, peace out.